Well, Home Alone actor Macaulay Culkin welcomed his first child with girlfriend and fellow actor Brenda Song earlier this month. But one major news network chose to scold him during this happy occasion.
And Dr. Keith Ablow, founder of the Ablow Center, joins us now to break this all down in our recurring segment we're calling Cancel Contagion. And we got a little fancy banner for you as well. Listen here.
Very nice.
You like that?
Thank you.
I made that myself.
It's very nice. I could never do that myself.
We
That's
had
why
to get
you
the
guys
attention.
Are you guys.
Look, NBC News used the announcement to criticize Culkin over the remarks he made 3 years ago about the, quote, little Asian babies he might have some issue
with his girlfriend.
With his girlfriend, okay. NBC brought in experts to denounce the joke as echoing, quote, the historical dehumanization of Asians as well as fetishization of Asian women. What's going on? Set this story up.
Well, so Macaulay Culkin is lucky enough to find love. He has a wife who's Asian. He welcomes Dakota, his little boy, and he says, I'm looking forward, he said 3 years ago, looking forward to having lots of little children with his wife, and so now he says little Asian babies, and he referenced, Lennon having that as well with Yoko Ono. And so NBC comes right after him. 3 years ago, he made one statement. He's in the middle of a wonderful moment. He obviously loves this woman. He's obviously not prejudiced or looking to stigmatize anyone, but they have to intrude with cancel contagion.
Yeah, making something out of nothing in that instance. But that's not the only one. We can find so many examples, quite frankly. Some would argue this is slightly different here. And maybe you caught this, maybe you didn't. There was an incident with the popular reality show The Bachelor a while back. Contestant Rachel Kirkconnell was canceled for attending an antebellum-themed party when she was in college. That photo resurfaced. This then led the host, Chris Harrison, to speak out against it. He advocated waiting for Rachel to come out and apologize and maybe learn from her mistakes. She was, again, back in college when this happened, but he was booted from the show for just defending her, saying she deserves some grace for her past mistakes. And Chris is not hosting the next season of The Bachelor for any Bachelor fans out
He's
there.
not?
No, he's being replaced, at least for this upcoming season. He was canceled, Keith.
After 20 years of service to the show. And can you imagine, what did he advocate? He didn't say that what she had done was right. He didn't say, there should be parties like this that have Confederacy themes. He said, you know what, it's years ago, maybe she deserves some grace. He's gone. Taken away by cancel contagion. Probably a very good guy, 20 years of service, and yet they won't have any of it because everyone's running scared. And I bet people have examples of that in their own lives, whether it's at school or at work, which is why we're bringing this to people, cancelcontagion.com. You can send in your own story there, and I might even call people and say, what's happening? But can you imagine? He didn't do anything. He just said maybe empathy for this person, maybe some grace, maybe she could apologize. Nope, you're gone.
So, all right, well, that's news to me. I got to start paying attention to more things. So this Chris Harrison, he's the guy. Do you accept this rose or something like that? He adds that little line. I mean, he is the Bachelor, right? I mean, that's
he's the host, but he definitely has
that's what I mean, but like he is the show. He's the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dr. Keith, I've actually got a question for you. We saw Chris Harrison in this one instance. He sort of walked back his comments. He came forward. He apologized. He says he's going to do some racial bias training, perhaps. But a lot of people are pointing out, as you were saying, that he didn't really do anything wrong. So let's just say, for example, you're one of those people who are emailing you. You're saying, I know this example of cancel culture, but I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. Should they come forward? Should they do an apology? Do they really believe in their own apology here? Do they feel the need to do so? And could they ever come back? Could we see Chris Harrison being the host even after admitting he apologized and did something wrong here when really he didn't?
Well, I hate false apologies, number one, because I think the truth matters. Secondly, how are we ever going to defeat cancel contagion, this viral phenomenon sweeping our culture, if we don't stand up and refuse to apologize when we've done nothing wrong? I'd rather see him get a lawyer in a way and fight rather than saying, I'm really sorry for asking for a little bit of empathy for this woman who seems sorry about what she did. Okay, if that means you're canceled, don't come out next and say, I'm really sorry for suggesting we might give her a chance. That just sets people up to say, whoa, I better not defend anybody. If there's any bleeding in the water, I'm out of the pool. That's not American. That's not courage. That's not free speech.
Well,
Yeah.
I think, I want to find the good in everything. And I think the good is that job's open. So how do I get it? That's what I want to know.
Two former contestants are filling in this
Are
next
they?
season. Sorry, Sean.
Sid,
Maybe
no
the
chance.
next season you can get it. Maybe you can apply. But do you
If
really
that's
want
your
to,
dream,
right?
go for it.
Huh? Well, I think anybody's dream. I mean, that show looks like so much fun. They go to the most nicest locations ever.
Sean just wants to be a contestant.
Either one. I'm the Bachelor, the Bachelorette. I'll be whatever you want me to be. I'll sweep the floors. I'll come out there and scrub in the set. I mean, whatever you want out there. This show is watched by so many people, and every time you think of it, you think of Chris Harrison. And it's gonna. I think it's gonna. It's gonna change the face. I don't know if it's. Will it pull from viewers? It's interesting to see if anyone really falls on the side of Chris Harrison.
Well,
have you even seen that?
Yeah, well, great questions. Who knows exactly? I think the response from fans has been almost mixed. But, this does remind me of what we saw later. A city manager, I believe, in the case of Dante Wright in Brooklyn Center, just calling for due process in, again, that police-involved shooting for the case. And he was dismissed from his position. Remember, he was fired for calling for due process. Again, it's kind of the same example that we're talking about. And this is why we keep bringing him back. Dr. Keith Ablow, there's no shortage of content to talk to you about. So we appreciate you taking the time.
Unfortunately not.
I know.
Can't
All
See you
right.
soon.
Sounds good. We'll see you next week.
You never really know. I might get canceled.